What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of the Hornets Daily podcast. My name is Tayvon, and we're back here live to discuss about everything about the Charlotte Hornets. We're going to get started with you guys today with the injury report that's going on against Phoenix for tonight's game that will be coming on very soon. If I'm not mistaken, for the Charlotte Hornets, which will be coming up very soon for that matchup, they will be playing against the Phoenix Suns at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So some really good way to still take some time as we enjoy our off day that's currently going on right now. The Phoenix Suns has listed Amir Coffey, Spencer Haywood Highsmith has out for this game. Mark Williams is questionable for this game with that stress fracture or stress reaction on his third metatarsal or his left foot in particular. So a stress fracture in his left foot is the reason why for the questionability, but he's been out for pretty much for most of the month, if anything, or most of 2 months, honestly. So we'll see if Mark Williams will return to face off against his former team. As far as our injury report, there is only PJ Hall who is out with a right ankle soreness as of right now. Tozin is on the two-way. Liam McNeely is on assignment. Antonio Reeves is on the two-way. And Tayvon, as of right now, is currently on assignment for the G League Swarm, who is currently just won their first round matchup and will be coming in very soon. As for the injury report, how's it go? Is there any major effects? Not really. Amir Coffey obviously still serves a purpose. Haywood Highsmith still serves a purpose as a defender. Coffey, same thing. He's 6'7", 6'8", playing the point guard spot, playing shooting guard spot. The main thing is Mark Williams, because, again, if the Phoenix Suns do get Mark Williams back, they do have more rebounding. They have way more rebounding, way more hustle on the glass. It will make things a little bit more difficult, especially for people like Musa and the rest of them. So, once again, still not the major of injury reports, but still something to look at and something to monitor for game time. And again, we don't know if Grant Williams or Kobe White will be sitting for these type of games, because again, this is a back-to-back game. This means that after the Phoenix, there will be the Indiana Pacers following after this. So it's going to be a back-to-back coming in, and hopefully we can get those 2 games down and continue on to our journey, of which we're going to go to our next topic, which is the Hornets has moved up to the 8th seed following the Orlando and Miami losses. Also, Toronto lost tonight against the Sacramento Kings. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that means the Hornets are currently the 8th seed of the NBA Eastern Conference standings as of right now, with the tiebreaker being going from Orlando. We automatically climb up to 8th. Orlando climbs up to 9th. The other team, Miami Heat, currently, as of right now, are currently a game and a half or a half game back from the Hornets and the Magic. So by declaration of the tiebreakers of the Magic and the Heat, the Hornets have the better record between the Orlando Magic, which is currently tied with them. So they automatically get the 8th seed from there. Miami, if they should win a game, they will reclaim the 8th spot. We will go to the 9th spot. Magic will go to the 10th spot if they do win their next game. So there's nothing really more to expect besides from us trying to win these games and trying to do whatever we need to do to secure a spot in the playoffs. And also, if we are going to the play-in, which is a 7th or 8th seed, again, all we need is one win. We are automatically in that category from that standpoint. So I'd rather 8th or 7th. To be honest with you, if we do get 9th or 10th, obviously I'm happy, but we need to get those wins when we go to the 9th and 10th spot. So, again, we have Phoenix and Indianapolis for the Miami Heat. I believe they have a destined date with a very, very bad team, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so they're going to be going against, looks like, Washington up next. And then they're going to go against Toronto twice. And then they're going to go against Washington again. And then finally, Atlanta on the 12th of April. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, also Toronto Raptors lost as they went against the Sacramento Kings, so they fell down to number 7, and we are 2 games back from Toronto and a couple of games back from Philadelphia, who's currently tied but has a season series, with Philadelphia beating out the Toronto Raptors, I believe 2-1 in that series. So Philadelphia's current 6th seeding has it right now, with Atlanta being 5th has right now and winning 3 straight games and winning 8 of 2 of their last 10 games that was out there. So Atlanta clicking on all cylinders ever since the trade, and opening up more avenues for the young players to play off, and they've been looking really good so far, 44-33, with Charlotte being 40-36. There's also an article that I wanted to kind of touch on in the way as far as predictions go. With the Hornets wise, Zach Roberts from Sports Illustrated Charlotte Hornets, as they do a lot of things as far as the Charlotte Hornets go in terms of talking. Atlanta Hawks currently own the 5th seed as of right now, 43-33. He placed out his predictions on the Hornets and how they will be playing coming in, and increased their chances of getting in front out of every team. With that in mind, with the Hornets currently right now with their tough slate, he predicts that the Suns and the Indiana Pacers will be wins. He predicts that the T-Wolves and the Celtics will be a loss, and the Pistons and the Knicks will be a win at home. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the first time that we pass 40 wins. This will also be the first time that of us getting into a seed. Obviously, we want a little bit more greedy and to get into the 7th seed or the 6th seed as much as possible. But again, this seems a little bit outdated, especially if we at least start winning games and Philadelphia continues winning games until the last moment. We do not have the tiebreaker. I don't believe we don't have the tiebreaker against Philadelphia as of right now. So in that case of mind, ladies and gentlemen, yes, the Hornets would need to win a lot more games throughout the rest of the game schedule as of right now. I believe we only got 6 more games left. With that in mind, Charlotte Hornets definitely got to get those W's and try to hang on. One W that you could be getting as well is Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy will be our ad and sponsor for today as we move along from that second topic. Use that promo code basketball fans to score $75 in bonus entries when you first play your first $5. And for Underdog Fantasy, Underdog is the best place to get in all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on such a stat points, rebounds, steals, or more, 3-point shooting, however you want to get it. Get your picks up to right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the app today. You can use promo code BasketballFans. That is the promo code BasketballFans to score $75 in bonus entries when you first play your first $5. Underdog Fantasy, make your picks, win money. Must be 18 and older to play. We're going to go to our disclaimer for the show for today, and then we're going to talk about PJ Hall being called up to the Charlotte Hornets and what that means potentially for the lineup or for himself, depending on what is going on. We'll be right back after these messages.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8 or text from 467-369.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and I did promise you about PJ Hall, but I also forgot to touch on a certain topic that we need to touch on, and that is making your picks for today for Underdog Fantasy. So again, the Hornets does play against the Phoenix Suns, and one player that I really have a really consistent streak with, or looking for a little consistency from, is Miles Bridges. Again, when you're making these bets, sometimes you go and hypothetically put somebody that is a 20-point scorer to think out, and they're going to score 20 each and every night, and you might be right about that in certain cases, but more cases than not, you will be wrong. So instead of us chasing after Khan or LaMelo or Brandon Miller to score 20 points or do certain things on the floor, because all three cannot get 20 points like that, or Kobe White, let's focus on the consistency of Miles Bridges or Moussa Diabate. In this case, I will be picking Miles Bridges. In the past 5 games, he has at least or gotten close to 10 points per game or 10 points in a game. As far as the last 5 games in terms of rebounding, he has gotten at least over 5 rebounds of the 4 to 5 last games. For assists, he at least gotten 2 assists in the past 4 out of the 5 games as well. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I will definitely take Miles Bridges as far as him hitting the 15-point mark for today, at least hitting 5 rebounds for today, and at least 2 to 3 assists for today for Miles Bridges if they give you that option. But I'm pretty sure they will, especially with him, as he's been going for this Hornets team ever since the season. And once again, rebounding is going to be really crucial in this game against Phoenix. I believe that Miles Bridges will be getting up there with Moussa Diabate to stop and make sure nobody gets any rebounds towards them, especially at the end point of the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel as though Miles Bridges will hit his mark for sure. We will check in on that as we come along, and we're going to go right back to the show. And let's talk about PJ Hall, ladies and gentlemen. PJ Hall has been called up from the G League to basically feature for the Charlotte Hornets. With that in mind, PJ Hall in the past 10 games with the Swarm has averaged 21.7 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, while also shooting 59% for the 3. The Swarm just recently beat out the, I believe, Maine Celtics in the first round to get the W, with PJ Hall underneath and leading all scorers in terms of 19 points for that game. So it's going to be a little bit different seeing him away from the team, and potentially we'll have to be going with the Charlotte Hornets. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, he is also, for this game, is out. So it begs the question, what is going to happen with certain players that's on the roster? I'm saying more towards the injury side of things, or the way Coach Lee will present them out when it comes time to it. Because again, PJ Hall is a power forward / center, mostly playing center. Him being called up got to be a coincidence in terms of either he's going to rehab his right ankle soreness, or 2, he is going to at least participate in basketball games coming in for the Hornets, especially end of season games where ice cream will be free for a lot of people during that time. Especially in Charlotte. So again, PJ Hall coming in, and as I said, I feel as though that with the rest and injury management that will be happening for PJ Hall, I just feel that Grant Williams and certain other players, maybe Ryan Coburn, maybe Moussa, will be missing some time, especially at the end point of the season, and PJ Hall will be at least playing some basketball coming in very soon. So we'll see if that's going to take note. I feel as though they brought him in more for Grant Williams' sake, as he is still nursing that injury management towards his ankle or towards his torn ACL that he had from last season. They just want to make sure he is good. Maybe they place in another player. I know they did not recall back Antonio Reeves as of yet. Antonio Reeves is possibly for Kobe White for his left calf injury. So they're managing injuries very well. Very happy the way that the Hornets are going to be doing it. But if this means that it's going to cut down on everybody else's time, it will be a little bit scary, to say the least, especially when we need these wins for the playoffs. Regardless if our team, it will be a 8th or 7th seed, we still need these wins at the end of the day. PJ Hall coming in to solidify that, or at least play in those games where it could be a reserve, or it could be him playing extended minutes for Moussa Diabate to get some rest. It doesn't agree with me currently of the current situation. But again, I do understand preserving your players for the playoffs. So we'll see how Coach Lee and the staff will go with PJ Hall being called back up. And we're going to go to our last topic for today. And it's an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. The article that was made, I believe, by the Swarm and Sting by Eric Smith, which was published about an hour ago, as I'm recording this in the morning time at around 9:30. They said that the Charlotte Hornets' favorite matchup, or ideal matchup in the first round, would be the Detroit Pistons coming in. And yes, he claims of this. The Detroit star, Kay Cunningham, was diagnosed with a collapsed lung a few weeks ago and has already missed significant time. Even if he returns, the expectation will be that he will not be at full strength. The Pistons has held their own without him and aren't soft opponents by any means, but why would this be a matchup Charlotte wants? Why the Hornets and their fans want Detroit? Well, because of that brawl that happened pretty much around January in the Spectrum Center, where Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Miles Bridges, and Moussa Diabate all got suspensions. And it hit the Hornets at a more possible time, especially when they was on their wing streak. Detroit physicality is well known, but the incident adds a kind of emotional layers towards fans and towards the fan base in general. The Hornets dropped both matches to the Pistons this year, and the fans will relish a chance to exact revenge on the top seed on the big stage. There's also the experience factor. Boston has been in the postseason plenty of times, around a decade. Detroit, in the meanwhile, has only made it to the playoffs only twice in recent years, both ending in the first round exits. Facing a fully healthy Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is far more daunting task than seeing a rusty Cunningham and a young, unimproved sporting cast as of right now. With the final 6 games, this will define us. Staying in that 7 to 8 range is critical. It gives Charlotte 2 chances to play in the play-in along with the home court advantage. The final stretch wouldn't be easy. The 5 of the final 6 opponents has been winning, but this Hornets team has shown all season that they can beat almost anyone on the right night. Given the downward trend of the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic, I predict that the Hornets will have a strong chance. This is the article, by the way. Have a strong chance of 7 and 8 seed. That would secure the home court advantage for the play-in and safety nets if they stumble. Whether they land the ideal first-round pick or first-round matchup, though, will be depending on entirely how the 7 and 8 games shake out and whether they can avoid a nightmare scenario with the Boston Celtics if needed. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the article. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about PJ Hall being called up, the standings update, the injury report that was out there, and then also the ideal matchup against Detroit. Honestly, from my personal opinion, I feel as though that Detroit matchup would be a really good one in terms of the hype of the fan base, but also in general of the overall competition, because again, we was dealing with this team, especially with the brawls and everything, but also we kept it very close with them, regardless if it's a full healthy Cade Cunningham or it's a full healthy Jalen Duren. We kept close with the Detroit Pistons team before, so we could definitely do it in due time and try to beat them out whenever we can. So, as I said, let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about the Detroit matchup of Daily being a first-round matchup for the Hornets. Let me know how you feel about PJ Hall. Let me know how you feel about the standings currently right now and the injury report with Phoenix, with Mark Williams potentially being gone from the game. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we do ask you as well to make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We hit 830 already. We are very close to 850. Make sure that you hit it with us today, and make sure you put in that subscribe count as well if you are new to the channel. Otherwise than that, ladies and gentlemen, for your Hornets fans that's out there, it's going to be a grueling 6 or 7 games that's coming up. Let us pray that we can beat up the Phoenix Suns. Let us pray that we can beat up the Indiana Pacers at this time, because right now the Phoenix Suns is currently on a bad road streak as far as losing games go. So hopefully we can take advantage of that and get through this game. And then Indiana, again, not any pushovers by any means, but we can still get those victories over Indiana at any point in time, especially regardless if they have Pascal Siakam playing in certain games. So honestly, I do feel that the Hornets are in a good spot. But otherwise than that, ladies and gentlemen, we want to tell you, have a good day. Have a blessed one. It's going to be a game at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you tune into it. And it's on FanDuel, North Carolina. Everybody else, have a good one. And peace out to everyone on the Hornets fan base. Have a good one. My name is Tayvon. Peace out.